Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon. Today we're going to look at series, and a sequence is just a list of numbers with a rule. But when we talk about series in maths, what we mean is actually the sum of the numbers in the sequence. Okay, so here I've got a sequence. It's just a very simple sequence. But when I talk about series, I mean the sum. What's the total of all those numbers added together? Okay, so if I wanted to find out what's the sum total of this first series here, you could just add them together, but if the numbers were more complicated, we need to find a rule or a formula that is going to help us with more complicated sequences. Okay, so if you're a little bit intelligent, you figure out that 1 plus 10 makes 11, 2 plus 9 makes 11, 3 plus 8 makes 11, 4 plus 7 makes 11, and 5 plus 6 makes 11. So how many pairs of numbers have I got that make 11? So that may help me to find the total. It's a lot easier doing that than adding all the numbers together by hand. Or if my numbers were bigger, it will help. And that works for every kind of sequence which goes up or down by the same amount every time. Here I've got 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, da 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 da. It works in exactly the same way. So 3 plus 21 makes 24, 5 plus 19 makes 24, 7 plus 8 makes 20, so it works. So using that logic, using that idea, you will be given in the exam this formula where the sum for a number of elements in a sequence is n divided by 2, where n is how many terms we have in the sequence, times 2a, a is the first term in the sequence, plus n minus 1 d, where d is the common difference. So how much the series goes up or down by every time. So the formula I know looks a bit of a mess, right? It looks a bit messy. But let's apply it to these two examples here and you'll realize how easy it is to use. Let's say I want to find the sum of these terms here. I'm going to use my formula. So the sum is going to be n. How many terms are there in the sequence? There's 10 numbers. So it's 10 divided by 2 multiplied by 2a. I said that a is the first term in the sequence. A is 1, so 2 times 1 is 2, plus n minus 1, so the number of terms in the sequence minus 1, so that's 9, times d is the difference in the series, so it's going up in 1, so 9 times 1. Therefore, I just have to do the sum is going to be 10 divided by 2 is 5, 9 times 1 is 9, plus 2 is 11, so 5 times 11, 55. The sum is 55. We have 5 pairs of numbers that added up to 11, so there you go, that's it. And this will work whether you've got odd numbers or even number of elements in the series. You don't have to worry about that. So let's use it for the second one and you'll see how it works in exactly the same way. So the sum, the total of all the numbers in the second sequence is the number of terms in the sequence, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I got 10, divided by 2, times 2 times the first term, a is the first term, so 2 times 3 is 6, plus n minus 1 is the number of terms, take away 1, so it's 9, times the difference, so the difference, how much does it go up or down every, it's going up by 2, so times 2. That's it. So the sum of terms in the sequence, 10 divided by 2 is 5, times 6 plus 18. Okay, so the sum is going to be 6 plus 18 is 24. and 24 times 5 is 120. So the sum total of all these numbers here is 120. And that's it. It is that simple. I don't necessarily need everyone to be able to do this, but there you go. Not complicated. Just remember, n is the number of terms, the number of elements in your sequence. A is the first number, and D is the difference, how much it goes up. So D could be negative, okay? So the series is going down. Anyway, that's it. Briefly explained in 5 minutes. So have fun, take care. I'll see you in a bit. Bye.